Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In this video, I want to explain inventory activities. What is inventory activities? It shows the information regarding inventories. Inventory means those items which we have purchased and it is stored in the business. From here, we can increase the number, decrease the number, adjust the quantity if it is lost, and so on. Now, let us see what we can do in the inventory activities. I'm going to start from this part, from inventory assemblies, and go up to the inventory center. First of all, build assemblies. If you remember, we discussed assemblies under the list, right? It was one of the item. And if you remember, inventory assembly was that when we want to combine different parts and make a final product. Here, the QuickBook, we can manage this assembly with the QuickBook that if we want to produce, for example, a particular assembly inventory, how many quantity of each item is required. Let us say, for example, inventory item, let us collect this one. If you remember, we have created this Dell computer as an inventory at the time of creating the QuickBooks, at the time of creating the items. So click on this one. When you click on this one, it shows that which items are required for making a computer: keyboard, motherboard, RAM, screen, and so on. How many quantity of each one are required? These are required, right? And how many quantity of each of these items are available in the system itself. These are the available quantity which are available in the system. For example, from battery, how many battery are available in the system? 1890. And how many of this one, the second one, motherboard? 640 of motherboard is required in the system. In the lower part, you can mention how many you want to build, how many computer you want to make. If you say one, if you make one, so one keyboard is required, two motherboard is required, and so on. It shows that how many items of each quantity is required for you, right? If you increase the number to 10, for example, let us say 10. If you want to make 10 computer, then 10 of keyboard is required, 20 of the motherboard is required, and so on. If you increase the number more than that, for example, let us say we want to increase to 300, right? 300 items. If you want to increase to 300, then the first one, 300 keyboard is required, then 600 motherboard is required, and so on. In this way, you can make your inventory assemblies. Let me increase the number to 400. If you increase the number to 400, sorry, it is 40, number to 400, right? If you increase to 400, in this case, some of the items are not enough in the system. Why? Because you need how many motherboard for each of these? You need, for example, 2 motherboards. In order to make 400 computer, so 800 motherboard is required. If 800 motherboard is required, how many motherboards are in shortage? So definitely more number of motherboards are in shortage. Why this is so? Because in order to make 400 motherboard, 400 into 2 become 800. But how many we have available in the system? 640. 180 motherboard is in shortage, right? So when there is a shortage, so QuickBook provide this warning. Option 1, you make pending. If you make pending, it means this assembly will not be proceed. Why? Because the items are in shortage. It is not enough. If you want to see that which items are on shortage in order to provide this one, click on this one, then say no. Then the QuickBook shows that motherboard, how many are available? One is on purchase. One is on purchase, one is on the purchase itself. The total which we need is equal to how much? 169. And in the case of RAM, how many are in shortage? This one is basically 96. RAM is in shortage. Why RAM is not enough? Because RAM also we need 2 RAM for each computer. Instead of having 800, we have only 704. So definitely 96 is in shortage. If you increase more than that, let us say for example we want to produce 1000. If you want to make 1000, some other items also will be in shortage, right? So click on this one. Again, it shows the shortage, but this time shows shortage not only for the RAM and motherboard, it shows also shortage for the keyboard as well, right? 294, this one, right? So in this way you can manage your inventory, right? I'm not going to make more than 10, so let us say I made 10. So here is a build reference number. So this is the reference number 1. If I make for the second time, that is number 2, number 3, number 4, and so on, right? So these are the information which we can do. Save and close this one, right? Save and close, this is done. Go once again for the inventory. After building inventory, the second one is physical inventory worksheet. Here you can count the number of inventory, how many of each inventory you have. For example, battery, I have this much. Book, I have this much. Then keyboard and so on. You can find out how many items of each item is available in the system itself. Yes, this is for the purpose of counting in order to check how many of them are available in the system only, right? Second one is adjust quantity value on hand. Sometimes if your record shows something else, but when you go in your warehouse and you count the warehouse and that one shows something else, if your warehouse show more than or less than the balance which you have in your record, in this case you have to go for the adjustment, either increase or decrease the quantity, right? Let us go for adjustment. Adjust types. What you want to adjust? You want to adjust the quantity only, you want to adjust the total, or you want to adjust the quantity as well as the value. So let us say this time you want to adjust the quantity as well as we want to adjust the value. Adjust date, which date you have adjusted, and adjustment account. Adjustment account can be an account, it can be expenses account, as well as it can be a revenue account. So if there is a shortage, it will be considered as loss, as negative. Why? Because we, according to, suppose, let us say, according to our record, there should be 100 computer. But when we count the warehouse, there is only 90 computer. It means 10 computers are lost because of anything. That's a loss. But sometimes when we say there should be 100 computer, there is 110 computer. In this case, there's a profit. So your adjustment account can be income account or can be expenses account, doesn't matter. But if you don't know how to create it, so click on the new. So basically it directly go for cost of goods sold, right? So cost of goods sold is the good option for this one. Let us say inventory adjustment. Inventory adjustment. Do not show this message again, so save it. So it will be recorded in this account. So these are the things that you may have studied in cost accounting as well. If there is a loss of inventory or materials due to theft, due to fire, or due to something else, this one should be adjusted in the cost of goods sold. If that loss is normal, but if that loss is abnormal, so you should not record on this one. That is the things that you have studied in cost accounting. I'm not going to confuse you. Reference number 1. And if you want to provide information regarding jobs and customers, that one also can be selected. Then select all items. Let us say, for example, this is the first one is battery. Quantity on hand. According to our record, it show 1880. But when we go in the warehouse, when we count it, there is no 100 or there is no 1880, but there is 1885. It means there is an extra 5. How many extra? 5 extra, right? The second one is, for example, book. According to our record, there is 1405. But when we go in the warehouse, we counted only, there is only how much? There is only 400. So there is a shortage of how much? Shortage of 5, right? So extra battery are there, but there is a shortage of book. The total balance will be equal to how much? Minus 474 point something else. This balance will go to which account? To inventory adjustment account, right? Let us adjust one more account. Food, according to, not food, mouse, for example, according to the system, it is 390. But let us say there is how much? There is a 400, right? So there is more balance. There's a, take one more, computer, for example, according to the computer, according to record, 495. But when you go in the system, we find the balance is equal to how much? 500. Now this is positive. It can be positive and negative, it depends on you. You count the warehouse and compare it with the record. If it is more, it is more. If it is equal, just write down it is equal, right? Save. So in this way, you can manage the quantity. Save, close it. And the next was basically the new items. If you want to create the new items, already we have done it, right? You want to create any of those items, it is also possible to create the items from this section as well. And after this, the last one is basically inventory center. So it provides information regarding each inventory. Battery, for example, how many we have on hand, how much is the cost, how much we have to sell. All those things are available here. Margin and so on. Keyboard, for example, right? How many of we have. And the same thing, for example, notebook and so on. How many items we have, how much is the cost of each, how much is the price, everything will be checked here. So this was regarding what? Regarding inventory, right? So item list at the end, print, e-file. This is basically, it is not useful in our country. These are the forms that are available in United States, so we don't have it. And the last one is item list. Once again, it shows the list of the items that we have in the QuickBooks. So thank you.